But I do know that denying trans people.
Oh my god, apologies for the audio quality. Why are you posting it to fucking YouTube then? Fucking loser. I'm sorry. I fucking hate people who don't put work into their videos, especially.
Are you really going to be the one to cry about people not putting work into their videos? Like, is this for real? This person who has been failing thus far on the audio levels, like dropping the ball hard, and he's now gonna shout about people not putting work into their videos. Yeah, this is it, YouTube. And I will show you what I mean, okay? But what was the debate from yesterday? I was watching US midterm election coverage, but when I dug at the time we shall debate critical racing theory, yeah. The debate was Sondsols going on President Sunday's stream and discussing genocide, okay? So, can you see? That's the question. You can see now. Now I will torture you with the content, okay? There we go. Sondsols. Sondsols. Sondsols reviews unhinged hit piece video and debate about loner box. There you go. Like you saw how he debates, now you will see how he makes content, okay? And we will talk about that because, whoa boy, he sure makes content. Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if any of you have ever seen Sondsols content before. I am here to show you what it's like. Let's go. It's gonna be painful. I'm warning you already, okay? Let's take this to the full screen.
In good health. Demon Mama is not harmless because I never ever saw the argument for trans self-ID or
Demon Mama's not harmless. I've never seen an argument for self-ID. Oh yeah, this person is one of those anti-self-ID Andes. How dare you identify? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you think that gender is about self-identification? How even dare you? I've seen him on panels, but never his actual content. Now, the first time for everything, we are looking at his content right now. So first thing, like right off the bat, he is anti-self-ID when it comes to gender.
gender self-ID until Demon Mama and Do started popularizing it.
Oh no, Do and Demon Mama popularized that silly idea of being able to identify yourself. Like, I don't know.
And they should do that. And if a conservative gets in the way, then they should respawn peacefully. These motherfuckers are so fucking transparent, dude. It's
what?
This is fucking. I am so disappointed with this. Oh.
I'm not even sure what to say to this, by the way. Oh yeah, Demon Mama does calls to violence like all the time, right? Like, what the hell? What is he even implying with this weird winking? Like, as you can already see, this is just a preview. And this is a preview of what's to come. Like, this is like the biggest hits. This is like the hook that is supposed to like get you to be excited about this video. So, as you can see, yeah, this is where we're at with this content.
Oh, God.
What do you mean legal brain? You're literally using the words of a legal fucking document to fucking say that he's wrong. What do you mean?
What do you mean, legal brain? You are speaking about legal... Oh my... Like, Sondsols, as I have noticed yesterday during the debate, is not the sharpest tool in the box. I will just tell you that. he's not the sharpest person. So you might find yourself really cringing a lot when listening to what he has to say. When Demon Mama said that he is legal brained, it does not mean that Demon Mama does not discuss legal matters at all. It means that being legal brained is that you look at everything through mainly legal lens and nothing else. Legality is the most important thing to you. That is basically what it means. Legality above all else. This is being legal brained.
Being legal brain.
I hope this.
What music? Oh my gosh.
All right, let's listen to this. Let's hear what everybody's got to say here.
Why is this so fucking quiet?
It's quiet because you don't know how to set up your audio. Like...
one particular group, you know, like people in Russia were starving, people in Kazakhstan were starving, and there's like, so you get into like a really murky territory, and if you look at the
There you go. What is he doing?
Srebrenica massacre in Bosnia, the way that was determined to be a genocide, there's all kinds of like thresholds that had to be met. They had to show like...
Watch this short.
I've listened to this so many times now.
Is it no comment, chick?
Me. What I'm scared of is that there's
I saw someone
Stop.
on here make the
me. What I'm scared of is that there's more people like Lonerbox out there. There's more people that are just gonna sit there until it's too fucking late. That's an existential fear.
I don't know why.
Me. What I'm scared of is that there's more people like Lonerbox out.
Why does that scare? Like, loner boxes.
How dare you be afraid? How dare you be afraid for your life when people are trying to legislate you out of existence? How dare you? How
Still a
dare
socialist.
you?
Lonerbox is still a socialist. Lonerbox is like one of the most trans.
A Lonerbox is a socialist? Is Lonerbox a socialist? Can someone, if someone is like a bigger fan of Lonerbox, can someone write in the chat if Lonerbox is actually a socialist?
Positive creators out there. I just don't fucking understand. I do understand. It's a virtue signal. Oh no.
No, you do not understand. If you think this is a virtue signal, then you... What's the point of a virtue signal like that? Do you even know what a virtue signal is? Like, what do you mean a virtue signal? Yeah, he's a lib. Like, what? Like, okay, so Sondsols does not know what a socialist is. Sondsols does not know what a virtue signal is. Lonerbox identifies somewhere between socialist and social democrat. Okay.
I'm not the most oppressed group right now. I'm not getting fucking genocided. Oh, what's that? Something's going on in Ukraine? Wait, look at me. I'm the one being genocided. I'm the one being genocided.
Are you hearing this argument? Basically, the argument he's making is that the whole trans community, by saying that the trans community is that we are afraid for our lives, we are just saying, oh, I want to be in the center of attention. Look at me. I want to be the one that's like, Ukraine, not mad important. Like, this is so ridiculous. And this is like refusing. Like, he is... What is this his name again? Sondsols is taking this one step further, you know. There are people like Lonerbox that are saying there is erasure, there are bad things happening, but calling it a genocide is too much because it's too strong of a word or something, I don't know. This argument alone is already bad, but this Sondsols fellow is taking it one step further and says that when we are afraid for our lives, we simply want to be in the middle of attention, and we simply want to like take attention away from Ukraine because this is some sort of a contest, and trans people being afraid for their lives is just a virtue signal, quote unquote. Imagine that two different bad things can occur in the world. Like, this is more than just that. Like, he's literally saying that we are just attention seekers by being afraid. A virtue signal. Sonsol is not a smart person. He's not. He's one of the less smart.
Fuck, if you could replace 95%
Destiny
of your meals
orbiters.
for life with mashed pumpkin, lard, and African Ugandan,
He's one of the least smart orbiters. And that's the truth.
your lifespan increases by 5.3 years in good health? No, that doesn't sound like it's worth it, Raffle.
What?
This is the fucking weirdest question. Actually, this is the actual weirdest fucking question I've ever been asked.
What are you
2.5
saying?
years of streaming. This is actually the most fucking deranged fucking question I've ever been asked. What the fuck does this mean? How the fuck did you decide on this food? How did you arrive
I don't care about the diet thing.
$278,000? That's not nearly fucking enough.
I do not care about
Holy
the diet
shit.
thing. Can you focus?
I've actually never been more offended by a question as well. Hey, Paul.
Can you, like this? I have to admit, some streamers can really be weird about being offended by their own chat and like arguing weirdly with their chat, screaming at the chat. That always seems so weird to me.
Politics for Life. Hey, I actually want to say something to you, Politics for Life, Mr. formerly known as Debate Boar.
Okay. Is he gonna be just quiet?
Yeah, I actually thought about you. While I was off stream, whether it was worth keeping you around, whether I should ban you because you trigger me so much. I actually think you are the most bad faith chatter I've ever had.
Bad faith chatter.
That's saying something because Little Bits is in the chat right.
Why would you single out chatters like that? That's so weird to me. You are one of the worst faith chatters I have ever seen in my life. You are such a bad faith chatter. Like, can't he cut out? Doesn't he edit his videos at all? Like, can't he cut this part out? I don't care about it.
At least they're a good shit poster.
I don't care about your chatters.
I think you're so weaselly. 1 second.
Nobody cares about your chatters. Literally, nobody cares about your chatters.
Oh, 1 second. I have to respond to this text.
Oh my god.
You're inventing that I'm not inventing anything. Now you're gaslighting me. 1 second. I have to respond to this text message.
Is this quality content now? Like, Stan locking the whole segment to answer to something, what?
Amazing.
Oh yeah, amazing. Can't you cut this out in editing?
All right, there we go. Hey, thank you for gifting that sub to Lonerbox.
What?
So Lonerbox may be joining the DGG universe. I don't know. I don't really know.
The DGG universe. I mean, I watch VOD, so I can't say anything about this. Yeah, but at least VOD does good content, okay? This person does bad content and weirdly argues with his chat. At least when Vosh argues with the chat, he at least has the decency to sort of address the chat as a group, not individual people, you know? Oh, chatter, you're so weaselly. You're the worst faith chatter I've ever have seen in my life. How dare you? Or some weird stuff like this, you know? So weird.
I don't really know Lonerbox that well. We've DM'd a couple of times. I might shoot him a DM. I don't know what the time is over there.
Over where? Where do you live?
Yeah, I don't know what time it is over there, but if he's getting dogpiled as much as you guys say he is, let's see what this Twitter
Dogpiled.
post is.
Dogpiled.
Oh, I can't wait. What
Poor.
did Jay Fesh say?
Oh, poor loner box.
Open link in private window. For years, I was told nobody is going after trans people.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Florida stripped trans use of their health care. The UK government is discussing plans to revise our human right to exist in public. Jesus, just fucking believe us when we say people want us gone. We can't even guarantee progressive liberals will be there to defend
I
trans
mean,
folks. People like Lonerbox hand-wringing and quibble over calling it genocide.
I mean, it's
Wait,
true.
Why is Gay Fesh? Wait a second. Hold the fuck up. Why is Gay Fesh commenting about Lonerbox on someone like Jim
What?
Sterling's or Stephanie Sterling? I'm sorry. I'm reading the at. Does she still go by Jim Sterling or is it Stephanie Sterling?
James
And why
Stephanie
is the at still
Sterling.
Jim Sterling?
Because it's James Stephanie Sterling.
don't-
Keep up.
I don't care.
I know you don't care.
Why the fuck actually? Like this person.
I mean, it
is a
shows.
huge
It
YouTuber,
clearly shows.
250 almost followers on Twitter.
Okay.
Nobody cares.
What do you mean nobody? What? What do you mean? What do you mean nobody cares?
Oh, and then the quote tweet is Lonerbox. Genuinely trying to throw an olive branch here. Why did none of you guys bat an eye when I defended refugee rights without calling their treatment in Europe a genocide? Why did none of you guys bat an eye when I defended refugee rights without calling their treatment in Europe a genocide? Governments literally left those people to drown or sent them into the hands of murderers.
I don't think.
They separated families and held them as prisoners in detention centers where scores of them died. These actions are rightly decried as gross human rights abuses and crimes against humanity. If there were a small group of refugee activists who decided what was happening was a genocide and chastised people who disagreed with them, how exactly does that help? Does it change the way these issues are supposed to?
I do. Oh my god. Lonerbox was in Vosh's chat yesterday, and the Vosh stopped to make the case why trans genocide is happening in the US, then moved on with his segment. I mean, I think it's a bit different. Like, Lonerbox is not exactly just some chatter. Like, Lonerbox is like a pretty big public figure, you know? Like, Lonerbox is not just some random chatter that can be bullied in chat by a creator. So I think addressing a pretty big content creator in chat is a little bit different than, you know, than just... Does that make sense? I think it's a bit different. At least in my opinion. It's like a little bit different than harassing a random chatter in your chat. Like, do you agree? Or do you think I'm missing something? Am I missing something? Should I take a look at that Vosh thing that happened yesterday? I heard Vosh was drunk or something.
To be dealt with? I've looked up a few of the groups that were pushing back on anti-trans laws and haven't found one that's using the word genocide. If you think those people are also lacking urgency or downplaying the threat, maybe you can lead by example and show them what they should do instead. Fucking based.
Oh my gosh. Also, Lonerbox does not seem to understand the difference between saying not using the word genocide and criticizing others for using the word genocide. Do you know? There's a difference between not using the word genocide yourself, which is one thing, you know, and there's a different thing, like if you criticize others for using the term genocide, right? Lonerbox is not just a person that advocates for trans rights and doesn't use the term genocide himself. No, he actively criticizes people for using the word genocide, and he actively denies the claim that it is. Those are two different things. So the argument of so many people advocate and don't use the word is not an argument in this discussion at all. Does that make sense? Am I making sense, or am I like, unhinged? Am I an unhinged SJW? Or what? And I'm Mokomorali.
You are wrong about Ukraine? Wait, what are you talking about? Literally everything about what I said was going on in Ukraine is like absolutely true and has come true over the past couple of months. Didn't I debate you at some point?
Who? Another chatter! Oh my gosh. More chatter.
Why did Russia annex the 4 regions?
I give up. Another chatter.
Jesus Christ. What is with my chat and all these fucking weird...
Is this gonna be a segment about the debate, or is this gonna be just him arguing with the chat? Because I don't really care about the argument with the chat, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's not really... This is not what I came here for, but I guess this sort of illustrates what you can expect from this content for life.
Weirdos coming in all the fucking time. Why did Russia annex the 4 regions? Because they want to be able to, like, use whatever means necessary.
What? What does that even... What?
If they try to invade those regions again.
What does that mean? Because they want to use whatever means necessary. That's an empty statement. That's the most empty statement that I've ever heard. Because they want to use whatever means necessary. Okay.
Probably.
Okay. And
I don't understand what the question is. Why do you think Russia annexed the 4 regions?
Because they
I'm
want
the
to...
Pokemon Master for Schizos? Yes. All of the mentally ill Twitch chatters come straight to my stream.
Takes one to know one.
Oh, 1 second. Let me read this DM. Because the people... Oh, you're actually retarded. Oh, no. Hey, guys. Listen. There was...
So
in
edgy.
the past,
Edgy
there were
boy.
these places called sanatoriums that they would send people to, like you to. And I think that we need to bring those back.
Oh, so edgy. Such an edgy boy. I'm so impressed
I
with
think we
your
need to bring
edginess.
those back. You know? Let me see here.
Humor.
There's a special tool.
It's not a stream if you do not have humor, you know? So many jokes. Ha ha ha. Yeah, this reminds me of the liberals who would argue when we called the concentration camps on the US border concentration. Yeah, exactly. That was really silly because that was obvious that they were concentration camps. Like, this is so ridiculous. People will argue about reality because they do not like the words that are being used. That's really pathetic. Like, there's nothing more pathetic than that. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, there's some special tools that they used to use for people like you. And it would have made your life so much better. Look at this.
Such
Right there.
edgy
Right
humor.
there. Just a nice
Wow.
ice pick up the nose, tap, 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 scramble around, and you would feel so much better. Okay? You would feel so much better.
Amazing creator. Amazing content. Amazing creator. The lobotomy jokes.
Sondsols, a magic intersection between crazy lefties and right-wing hacks.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know. I get all of the worst ones. None of the ones that will get me any clout. All these fucking weirdos, based socialists.
I mean, you get what you deserve, right?
I really didn't want to have to make this video. Lonerbox,
Oh wait, hold on. What's the intro say?
I really
As you can hear, I've been sick for like a week. Okay, no,
didn't
who
want
fucking
to have
cares?
to make this video. Lonerbox is a creator I really
I mean, you don't care about much from what I see.
Why is the audio coming out so quiet for you guys?
Because you don't know how to set your audio on stream? I don't
Did
know.
fuck up something with my audio settings?
I would not be
It says the headphones are
surprised.
at 100%. I'll crank it up.
long form scripted content. He's really good at explaining things clearly and calmly and has made some great videos pushing back against right-wing bullshit like Matt Walsh's What is a Woman documentary.
Alright.
I think he's been a genuine force for good in the online left and has earned his position among stream and essay personalities through having legitimately good content, which is why making this video is so disappointing for me.
Lonerbox doesn't think there's a trans genocide. Hold on, I'm actually curious.
Sondsols is cringe, it's true. This has been established, I mean, several times over, and the video's just starting. Like, I don't... This is... Oh. I'm starting to see why Sondsols is at the size that he is at, even though I'm much smaller now. But
Actually, I should
don't...
pull this off.
This is really cringy content.
Trans genocide.
So the jokes about lobotomy,
Okay, we got a Wikipedia article on trans genocide.
I believe so. Is this Galea's video now? I watched that. It was very good. Well, you're about to see it torn about. You are about to see it torn to pieces by the genius. What's his name? Sondsols. You're about to see
Transicide.
wordplay. Amazing.
PBS.org. Wait, does it
Amazing.
say genocide on this? On PBS? One second. Control F.
Prepare your content.
Geno.
Prepare your
Side.
content, please.
Wait.
So far, it's been just arguing with your chat and
Yeah, no, genocide does not show up except for in one Wikipedia article. Fuck off. I cannot pay Wikipedia right now. I am poor.
why?
It's a term used by scholars and activists. This article has multiple issues. Please help improve it. The neutrality of this article is disputed. The article possibly contains synthesis of material which does not verifiably mention or relate to the main topic.
Is this not?
Oh no, guys. Oof. Oh no. Elevated level of systematic discrimination and violence against transgender people. The term is related to the common meaning as well as the legal concept of genocide, which the Genocide Convention describes as an intentional effort to completely or partially destroy a group based on its nationality, ethnicity, race, or religion. Nationality, ethnicity, race, or religion. None of which, like, unless there's a trans nation, ethnicity, race, or religion. I don't know about.
Oh wow. Sondsols here. Basically, I guess since the gender is not listed, erasing and killing trans people doesn't matter anymore. It's not a genocide anymore because, you know, it's like it's not on the list. There you go. It's all good. Like Sondsols, I will repeat it once more, is not the smartest Destiny Orbiter. Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot.
About that one, folks. Historians have described genocidal. Okay.
It's painful to watch his content, and it's just started, but you know, I'm providing you with this quality thingy right now. Are you good?
Genocide. Literally, nothing here is
Are
genocide.
you good?
The use of transgender genocide has been contested by hate crime expert Bernie Farber of the Canadian Jewish Congress as being insensitive to victims of recognized genocide, such as the Holocaust, because it does not meet the legal test despite the terrible crimes against the community. Discomfort with the term has also been expressed within the trans community. As Emily St. James writes, still, if I use the word genocide and say the headline of this article, I know almost every cis person who reads this will blanch, at least a little bit, then quibble with the word choice. I would agree to some degree. This is so fucking stupid.
Do you know what the most frustrating thing of like in the universe is for me? When someone who is clearly not very intelligent calls something very stupid. This is like, you know, lack of self-awareness on the display is like very disappointing to say the least. If that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? I think it should make sense to you. I feel like we need 1.25 speed so he can get to the point, lol. Yeah, I think so. I think we will speed it up a bit. I'm a bit, they will speeding him up.
How liberalism will kill us
On
all!
October 20th, someone in Polypeople's chat let her know
Wow.
that Lonerbox was on stream saying there wasn't a genocide of trans people happening in the US. Polly disagreed, so she joined his stream chat and he invited her to talk on stream. I think the following
Okay.
clip does a good job of illustrating both Lonerbox's and Polypeople's basic thesis statements for this debate.
And I do know that denying trans people
Oh my god, apologies for the audio quality. Why are you posting it to fucking YouTube then? Fucking loser. I'm sorry, I fucking hate people who don't, like, put work into their videos. Especially...
Are you really going to be the one to cry about people not putting work into their videos? Like, is this for real? This person who has been failing thus far on the audio levels, like dropping the ball hard, and he's now gonna shout about people not putting work into their videos. Like, is this for real? Is this guy for real? Like, what? What's happening here? Wow.
Especially if you're not doing live content, why the fuck are you posting this shit to YouTube? Fucking shit-ass audio quality, shit-ass video quality, any of that shit. Fucking
Yes, calm down. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your opinion on this. Like, what is this performative anger? Nobody cares. This video is not even for you. Like, you don't even believe anything's happening.
bugs the fuck out of me.
Like, nobody cares about what bugs you.
intent to kill trans people by making life unlivable.
Okay, so then again, so now so when you say intent like that, it sounds like you are
Fix the music volume relative to the speaking volume.
going to stay within like, the definition. So yeah, I wouldn't-
You're one to talk.
just to be clear, I didn't-
Seriously, you're one to talk.
It's systemic discrimination. It's it's abusive and all that. Yeah. I said what happened
Like,
in-
your music level compared to how you talk is not that great either. Yeah, Leah's videos are really good. There's no audio issues with it, especially for a brand new creator who has only posted like 3 or 4 videos so far. Like, I don't know, Sondsols is just a jackass, to be honest. Like, it's like straight up just a jackass.
clearly like cultural genocide because the intent is there to destroy the religion. It's there and they're
Nobody cares about his opinion.
people and putting them into education camps that they can't leave and forcing them to change their like cultures. That's why the threshold is just so much higher. So that's why I'm kind of
Sondsols is not exactly some, like, arbiter of what's good or not when it comes to content creation. I'll tell you that. We have already witnessed the substance of his content, more or less.
analogizing British Muslims more because I don't think that's a genocide. But again, the intent to kill people, that would put the burden on you. I don't think there's any written statements from people and like saying that we're trying to get rid of trans healthcare or trans education rights and all that because we want to kill trans people, right?
He says that only 2 states have passed laws banning trans healthcare for minors and that one was struck down. In reality, 4 states, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas, and Arizona, have passed laws banning some kind of medical prevention for trans youth, whether that's a ban on surgeries for trans youth or a full ban on all gender-related care such as HRT and puberty blockers. Missouri, though its healthcare ban seems to be currently stuck in committee, considered extending the age limit from
Do I even have to remind you? 240 bills just this year in the US, anti-trans bills, because conservatives do not care about proposing bills to improve healthcare, solve homelessness, maybe, do something about inequality when it comes to finance. No, those things are not important. We need 240 bills just this year about people that are like 2% of the whole population to harass a minority. This is the priority.
18 up to 25, meaning legal adults who could
Ridiculous.
vote, rent a car, and go to war would be considered too young to be allowed to have transition-related materials.
This isn't genocide. This isn't genocide.
Yes, it is. It's literally targeting a group for extermination. And I have already seen you embarrass yourself when discussing the whole black people thing, when you did not understand a single thing that was being explained to you about many different groups of black people basically being erased and flattened into one single blob called black people. Like, you did not understand that point at all, because, as I have told a few times at least during reacting to you, you are not very smart. Like, you're either not very smart or you're not being very honest. And I'm not sure which one it is at this point. I'm really not.
This is them showing their hand. They want to extend it.
Did Polly link a source for the transgenocide numbers? No, those are all locked in the vault of Moscow and in France. I don't know if you knew that, but if you want the original documents for the... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about an actual genocide, like the Holocaust. If you want the direct first,
Oh, ha ha ha. Oh my gosh. Sondsols is such a funny creator. He will go far, that one. Do you see how many amazing jokes he throws out? Ha ha ha. Oh, an actual genocide. Good one, Sondsols. Good one. Like, I'm gonna have to do a whole stream segment ranking your jokes. Like, is your lobotomy joke S tier? A tier? The viewers will decide.
first account there, the actual records, you're gonna have to go to Moscow for the Holocaust. But this is something completely outside of the realm of reality.
Past 25 until they can reasonably ban it outright.
Just a reminder, a survivor of Auschwitz-Birkenau did a whole speech called "Do Not Be Indifferent," because the treatment of minorities he sees like a road to a new Auschwitz. But I guess that survivor is just, out of touch with reality. Sondsols knows best, Sondsols is the wisest. Sondsols just should debate. Sondsols should debate that Auschwitz survivor out of his silly ideas. I think so. We should arrange a debate.
Moreover, denial of healthcare isn't the end-all be-all of what constitutes a genocide, despite it being a major component. Part 1. Where it starts.
Counter to my argument about the Holocaust? What argument about that? Wait, hold the fuck up. What is the argument about the Holocaust? Oh, no.
I bet this person even knows about the history of the Holocaust, so he probably should not even be talking about it. This is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing show.
Oh, what the fuck?
I've told you you would be in pain. I told you this is very, very bad content.
Yes, because it's the Holocaust. It's not a genocide. Awful comparison. What the fuck is going on? Bro, we need to shut down. We need to shut down all of the lefty Twitter. We need to shut down all of the lefty Twitter accounts until we figure out what the fuck is going on here. What the fuck, dude?
Oh, wow. A Trump joke next. You're on fire. You are on fire with your jokey jokes. Amazing. Amazing, amazing Steven Orbiter. Or Steven Orbiters are very funny folk.
Maybe we can lead by example, show them what they should do instead.
This is amazing.
Anti-hate
Amazing
groups, anti-trans
content.
groups I've looked into aren't
10
happening
out of
because
10.
genocide explicitly, so it's not a genocide. No genocide is happening in the U.S., nor will it happen in the near future. Let's stop the BS.
10 out of 10
legislation about
content.
pretending that a Holocaust is happening right now in the U.S. Let's stick to reality for once.
Ooh, tweeting on stream. Wow.
Weren't you on good terms with Miles? No. I think maybe like
Are you on good?
20 I was. Back
Are
when I was
you on good terms with anyone? Oh yeah, you're probably on good terms with Destiny Orbiters or Steven himself.
Bosch Orbiter, but no.
Vosh Orbiter? Vosh does not have orbiters, as far as I know. What do you mean? What are you even saying? What are you even saying?
Isn't this? I'm pretty sure this is the guy that told his girlfriend that he can't hang out with her friends and that she shouldn't hang out with her friends because her friend is a Destiny viewer. Is that not the
Nobody,
same person?
nobody cares about your gossip. Please move on with your segment. Please learn to focus your content, okay?
1 second.
Like an advice from a far smaller creator to you. Focus and stop with these tangents
I'm
about...
not even gonna, you know what? I'm not
Stop with the gossip.
gonna engage. I want to engage.
And we're watching this on a speed up. I'm gonna have to...
I'm not gonna get canceled for using his, him, his, whatever pronouns. All right.
Like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to cut so much of this out in editing. This is like... Do you think I should just cut all of the fluff out? I might. This is gonna be a netted heavy video. I'm gonna show him how it's done. I'm gonna show him how to cut out all of the unnecessary parts from a video to make it more concise. Because you should not be being quiet and quietly typing out stuff in your video. You can leave that in your VOD of the full stream, but leaving that in a segment video is quite embarrassing. Please learn editing because, as you said yourself just a few minutes ago, I hate it when people put zero effort into their videos. This is embarrassing.
Oh, it's the hollow boss.
I don't know, could be doing Sondsols too much of a
Jesus
favor.
fucking Christ.
I mean, I'll be doing this for my segment covering him, so that's okay. I, unlike Sonsols here, actually respect the time of my viewers, and I usually try to cut out all of the moments. When I create segments, I cut out all of the moments when nothing's happening, when I am silent, when I do ums, ers, or when I type something out. You should just cut all of that out. It adds nothing to the segment. It adds nothing to the quality of the video. Like, it's just empty fluff. It's a waste of time for the viewer. But I guess...
Not enough. Oh, fuck, dude. That's way...
But I guess Sondsols just doesn't
As of
care
writing,
about
18
stuff like
different
that.
states in the U.S. have a ban on trans feminine athletes competing against their cisgender peers. These bans, like the bills banning medical intervention, are excused by a desire to quote-unquote protect a group supposedly negatively affected by the inclusion of trans people.
Supposedly. Like, do people not, like, ever... If you don't understand what someone's position is, then don't fucking try to speak on it, dude.
Exactly, Sondsols, exactly. That's the smartest thing you've said so far. The question is then, why are you speaking about it? Why are you speaking on this subject if you clearly have no clue what you're talking about? You had some amount of self-awareness here, but you did not follow up on it.
I don't know. When...
I know you don't know.
If you don't understand how cis women can be affected by trans women in sports, or if you literally just think like,
Ooh, I see. He's a DGGer through and through. He's one of those people that actually is like trans women should not, be in women with cis women sports. Even though Conyer, a really good creator, Conyer, who is an actual good creator, made a whole video that explains how sports were actually segregated into men's and women's sports in the first place because women started winning against men and men became salty about it. Like there's a whole video from Conyer about it that I should actually link.
by virtue, like, because the same people that will make this argument that trans women in sports does not negatively affect cis women will all, because and they'll say like, just look at like the way that HRT affects the body. They'll also be the exact same fucking people that say, oh well, don't you know that you don't need to do any kind of transition in order to be trans? You don't have to trans. All you have to do is say and believe that you're a woman and therefore you are trans, and there shouldn't have to be anything else
There you go. Of course, since
after that.
I'll let him finish.
So if there isn't any requirement for someone to undergo either a social or a medical or like a hormonal transition, then I feel like cis women are going to lose out to their definition of trans women in sports. If those people
Those two things are not mutually exclusive, okay? Those things are not mutually exclusive. You can identify as trans, be trans, and not transition, okay? And right now, in the weird society that arbitrarily, that has arbitrary divisions into men and women's sports, you can require transitions when it comes to sports. Those things are not mutually exclusive. You're not being as smart as you think you are. The opposite, in fact.
never have to do any kind of transitioning. It's insane.
Namely women's sports. Republicans claim they want to keep trans women
The
out of women's
famous
sports because
Stephen
our, quote,
argument of
biological
it's
lineage of cis
insane.
women would lead women's sports to eventually be
It's
dominated by
insane.
feminine athletes. I'm not going to spend my time explaining why that's
Well, now
incorrect.
I'm
Tons of people have gone over this argument before, and I'm not looking to just regurgitate their points.
now I'm
If you're
convinced.
interested in knowing why
If you
there's
say it's
basically no reason to bar
insane,
trans women from women's sports, I would recommend
sounds
giving Jessica
legit.
videos on the subject to watch. The point of these athletics bans isn't to kill trans people, not in any direct way, that is. The goal of these particular bills is to other trans people, to make them seem alien and aberrant and unworthy of equal treatment. You can see this in the way that conversations around trans athletes.
But
True.
fuck me. No, it's really not. I think that most conservatives genuinely believe, like, you have to do so much, like, mind reading to get to that point.
Oh yeah, so much mind reading because most conservatives are just genuinely well-meaning people. They just are uninformed. If only Sondsols could debate them all. 240 bills just this year, 680 bills, I believe, since 2018. They are not just misinformed. They're not just some well-meaning folk. They are being malicious, and we have talked about why. We have already talked how scapegoating a group is a perfect thing to do when you do not want to address real issues in society.
Point. Like the idea that, oh, well, they just want to make trans people seem aberrant. They just want trans people
Yes,
to
they
seem
do.
insane and crazy.
Yeah, they do.
No? Like, well, maybe, yeah, but not with these bills. I think that there's like a great...
What do you mean, maybe? So which is it? Which is it? You're an idiot. Oh, so he just leans right on trans issues, average lefty DGG orbiter right here. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he will be soon talking about the progressive orthodoxy in academia or something. I would not be surprised at all. This person is not very smart. Keep this in mind as we are watching. Keep this in mind. Lucy's being quite mean today, but I think it's at least a bit deserved, especially after the embarrassing showing from yesterday. You know? This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing and sad.
Number of people, not just conservatives, but your average liberal in the United States that thinks that maybe trans women in sports is a really difficult thing to allow to happen if you want cis women to remain competitive in sports.
Yeah, calm down, buddy. Those bills are not being drafted by the, average liberals. They are not. So please conflating different types of people together to try to make your point. You really think that if you start conflating radical hating people that create horrible hateful bills with regular liberals, quote unquote, that just think things might be difficult, then I'll suddenly forget about the existence of the regular people, of like the radical people? This is ridiculous. This is such a bad argument. This is not an argument at all, in fact. If someone believes in their heart that God speaks to them through their soup and wants them to kill people, should we be like, oh, well, he truly believes it? Yeah, exactly. But I don't think they truly believe it. I think the radical people that do those bills don't really believe it. They're scapegoating. It's a really historically tried method. Like, it's nothing new. People do it to try to not, like, it's a tool of control, first of all. And second of all, it's a useful thing when you do not want to address real issues in society. You just find a scapegoat and concentrate on that and radicalize your voter base. It's nothing like, it's not exactly. And people like this are, I guess, not smart enough to see it. Oh, we have to delete that, I guess. We have to eat. We need to eat this chatter. Let's go. Delete that. Eat. I might as well record it. There you go. There we go. We have gotten rid of the problem. There we go. Got him. So how are you feeling about the content of your new favorite creator, Sondsols? We also have the context of yesterday's debate / conversation as well. One message left that I missed. Oh well. Okay, let's go. Let's continue, I guess.
Should have to be, at the very least, some kind of there should have to be some kind of like medical transition. There should have to be some kind of like HRT involved.
Yeah, but that's not even a point against self-ID in the slightest. You can accept self-ID and you can potentially still require some form of transition for sports. Those are not contradictory positions. They are only contradictory if you are not smart.
right? Like you shouldn't just be able to like say I am a woman and then be able to play in the same sports as cis women, especially.
Also, I will remind you once again, the segregation for women in sports happened because men started losing to cis women. That is what happened. So the whole sports thing is far more complicated than people like this would like you to believe to begin with.
Especially if we're talking about like contact sports like wrestling, right? Like that just shouldn't be allowed. Like look at the way that testosterone affected that the trans dude, right, in Texas, who wanted to compete against other guys, but the state wouldn't allow him to. He destroyed those girls.
Destroyed!
Destroyed those girls. Because of
Destroyed!
the HRT. He should have been competing against guys in his own weight class. He just
Wait.
should have been.
So which is it? So which is it, Sonsol? You just made a point against yourself. Should trans people be competing with people of the gender that they identify with or not? Which isn't, Sonsol? Because you cannot have it both ways. You simply cannot.
Are you suggesting that if a boy feels like a girl, then to live as a girl, the boy must undergo medical procedures? No, not necessarily. That's not what, like, my
sort
bar
of
for
are.
transitioning is some desire to socially or medically transition, right? You
Well,
can't just like, you can't look like
Nobody cares about your bar. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Nobody cares about your bar. I'm trying to avoid looking at Sonsol's chat because it's even worse than what's coming out of his mouth. Yeah, it is. I'm not looking at the chat. I don't really care. I don't really care about his chat. Like, I care about my chat because my chat is nice and, you know, my chat is full of gigglers. And Sonsol's chat is Sonsol's chat, you know?
and then say I am trans. Like that shouldn't be allowed, okay? Because that doesn't make sense to
Because-
literally anybody else on the face of the fucking planet.
Because...
It doesn't make any fucking sense outside of these like very niche fucking Twitter circles.
Wait, why doesn't it make why doesn't it make any sense? Like what? Are you just gonna say it, that it doesn't make any sense and you're just gonna leave it like that because you know, justifying your claims is overrated. Justifying your claims is for the Twitter circles, I suppose. I guess you can just declare some nonsensical thing and, you know, which is ironic since Sonso is supposedly against just declaring things and yet he just declares his opinions on trans issues without justifying it in any way and he thinks that's perfectly fine. But self-ID is not. I guess logical consistency is not exactly his forte, right?
Let me think here 1 second. So I
Yeah,
think
you should
that having a
you
desire,
should
because
spend more
there's-
time
there's
thinking.
two reasons why
Yeah.
I say the desire is enough, right? Because one, if you're like in a really, really ultra conservative place, I responded to you, Dingo. Fuck you. If you're in a really conservative area, right, and you could possibly get like physically harmed for being a trans person, right? I understand not transitioning. Or if you're too poor to afford any kind of like medical transitioning, that's also like I wouldn't want to say that that person isn't trans because they
There
cannot-
is no logical reason. When someone declares they are trans, there is no logical reason why you should question it. There is none. Like, literally, there is none. And nobody can provide a sensible reason why you should deny people their identity. There is
or
none.
HRT, right? So like I don't think that there should be monetary barriers to being called trans, but there should be social ones, right? If you're socially transitioning and you are like, you know, trying to
What?
present as someone like as something else than you were assigned at birth, then fine, fucking go for it. I don't care. I'm not gonna sit here and like.
I know
whether
you
or not
don't
you're not
care.
Trans. You know. But at the same time,
Of course, there's a but.
you can't just like say you are a woman, never do any like social transitioning or any HRT or any kind of anything, and never ever 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 do any kind of like transition. You can't like not transition and then claim that you're trans. What does trans mean?
You just gave an example of a person that needs to be in the closet, you idiot. People who exist in niche Twitter circles dismissing niche Twitter circles in the most funny joke. Sondsols giving us this segment. Yeah.
Trans means like to change. There's some change between state 1 and state 2. I would heavily recommend talking to a trans person on this. I have a close personal friend who is trans, and we've had deep conversations about this. They believe things.
A close personal friend. Wow, my favorite argument, my close personal friend. Okay, I see your close personal friend. Also, do you really think that the internal change of declaring yourself to be trans to the world is not a change? Like, there's no change there.
Things that I probably am not going to like go as far as them on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, how can you claim to be trans, never desire to socially or medically transition, and then still call yourself trans?
Very easily.
What does it even mean to be trans at that point? It means literally fucking nothing.
I will explain it because I can see you're struggling with the concept. It means to identify with a different gender than one that you have been assigned at birth. Like, I'm gonna be honest. If you are non-binary, then what do you socially transition to? What do you socially, quote-unquote, transition to as a non-binary person? But of course, because Sonsols here is a Stephen Orbiter, I am 99% sure that he thinks that being non-binary is some sort of a made-up thing or something. You know? Like, non-binary people exist, and then they declare themselves to be trans, non-binary. They don't need to transition. They don't need to socially transition, and in fact, what's the problem? They are trans. Non-binary people are trans. Yeah. What's the problem, Sondsols? Are you having trouble keeping up?
Yeah. Trust me. I've
Trust
dealt with
me.
like my own like things where I've like deeply introspected about like gender stuff in my own in my own experience. Right?
Oh, press X to doubt. I'm gonna doubt that claim that you have deeply introspected. How can you socially transition? There's legislation preventing you from socially transitioning. You know, like barring you from playing sports with your peers. Well, you know. Too bad, right? Too bad. But it's not genocide, so it's okay.
Right? Like I know a lot about this stuff. And it's not like I'm just like speaking off the cuff about like what a real trans is and what a fake trans is, right? But like if you're simultaneously going to say trans women don't have any inherent like advantage over cis women in sports, right? As long as they take HRT, and then also say, oh, I didn't mean to click that. Fuck, I'm changing it.
You're an idiot.
It just doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, that's
Yeah, I know. It doesn't, and it just shows that you have not, in fact, thought about those things very much at all.
Women's sports, dominating the leaderboards, and all of this is intentional. These trans athletes have malice ascribed to them, with the right wing insisting this is a deliberate attempt to undermine Western civilization and weaken our perception of the division of the sexes, when in reality, trans athletes want what all athletes want, to play their sport. These bans not only usually come as a response to a particular athlete performing well, making them the subject of unimaginable levels of online hate,
True,
and are
like the
acted in an
swimmer.
attempt to push any trans person who might get a spotlight for their achievements into a self-imposed obscurity for their own protection.
Yep.
In short, they are making trans athletes' lives more difficult and ending their prospective careers on a legislative level. Part 2. Do they mean it though? In the debate with Poly People, she asked Lernerbox if he agreed that even if there isn't an active genocide happening right now, that there is at least genocidal intent on the side of the GOP. Lernerbox's response was,
So is that what it would take? The law would have to say, we would like to, our goal is to kill trans people? That's
Well, you said that.
To
Though.
be-
You said that the intent is there.
this argument is completely incoherent because it ignores, either intentionally or accidentally, the well-known fascist tactic of dog whistling. Republican politicians don't need to say, we have to remove trans people from society or let
That
them
is
robot
true.
themselves outright,
Okay.
when they can just call us groomers, pedophiles, and fearmonger about us corrupting innocent cis children through social contagion. The message this sends to their base and to the trans people who exist around them is clear. We don't believe trans people are worthy of dignity or a life free from discrimination. In
I
fact,
mean, that's
we
true.
believe discriminating against them
That's
is
actually
law.
true.
Or you could just like talk to a regular person and not try to assume.
Oh, talk to a regular person. Okay. Oh, I know this one. I know this one, everybody. I know this one. Let me defeat the boss, and I will tell you what this argument is, because like it's funny. It's very interesting. It's like an argument that Steven often uses. Wow, like Orbiter, like the creator, huh? Let me see. Let me show you. This is so fascinating. Like, wow, I love it. I'm going to read it out because it seems like funny little thing. Show more. Open. So I'm opening a little thing here called the Glossary of Propaganda. Talk to a regular person. So what this is called the appeal to belief. The suggestion that since most reasonable people within your group believe something, you should believe it too. Also, an appeal to common practice when regarding something everyone does, or an appeal to expertise when regarding experts making a value claim on subjective terms, signaled by phrases like ask anyone, everyone knows, any reasonable person would, it's obvious that, etc. Interesting appeal to belief. Amazing argument. Oh, wait, that's called propaganda, never mind.
Every single conservative's intentions, I guess. Like, I don't know. Maybe that might help you out a little bit in this soul searching that you're doing, trying to.
Yeah, maybe if you knew that any reasonable person would agree with what Sondsols saying here. You know, everybody knows. Yeah.
Figure out what all conservatives believe, but like that's, I think that
Also, I can picture basically Sondsols going back to the 30s in Germany and saying, "Can you really tell me that you know what every member of the Nazi party believes? Do you really know? Why don't you just talk to a regular Nazi party member, huh? Yeah? All right."
that it's probably a genuine concern on a lot of conservatives' parts that they're like, man, you know, like it's a little bit spooky, all this like trans stuff. I feel like this isn't like
Yeah, I'm sure that 240 bills this year came out of well-meaning concern. Yeah, I'm sure.
normal thing, and because it's not a normal thing to me, I'm a little bit spooked by it, right? And then you add in people like you, the person.
But yeah, it's trans people's fault that it's happening. Yeah, people like you're at fault. Because we know that the conservatives are just well-meaning people that are just a little bit scared, a little bit spooked. It's like it's okay. But then common people like you, fear-mongering into hating you even more. It's actually your fault. Even if it wasn't fallacious, it's missing the point. We're talking about legislators passing bills. The majority of America doesn't want these bills, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But the streamer here is not very smart, so I do not expect very smart arguments.
In this video, simultaneously saying that trans women don't don't have any advantage in sports, but also taking the like crazy position that self-ID is all that it takes to be.
Oh my gosh, we went through this so many times in this one video. You can accept self-ID and still make transition mandatory for professional sports. What's the problem? What is even the problem?
Trans. Like, how do you square these two positions? How do you square those two positions?
Very easily. I just did a second ago, literally. It's not difficult if you can use your brain. If you can use your brain to think, then things open to you. If you can use your brain to think, magical things happen. Magical wonders, fabulous secrets open up to you when you start using your brain to think.
How do you square the idea that like there's a lot of people that are just like very libertarian about things, but they don't want people like telling a 4-year-old that they're trans? How do you square those two ideas? How do you
What? Square what ideas? That people want to keep reality from children? What point are you even making? What's your point?
it's just wholly inconsistent.
Well, you know, it's only inconsistent if you're stupid.
Morally correct. On another note, what serious politician who hopes to be reelected would ever verbally and explicitly say they want to kill trans people, especially in a period where their political party isn't even the one in power? Regardless of their intentions, which I obviously agree are genocidal, doing so when you don't control the government is political suicide. Doing a little bit.
If it was political suicide, then why are they talking about it so much? It's like political crack. It gets their base fucking bumped. It's not political suicide to say that trans people shouldn't be in sports because it's all over the fucking United States. You hear it all the fucking time. If it was political suicide, then you would expect to not hear it all the time, but you do. Why do you hear it all the time? Because it's politically advantageous if you're a conservative to say that shit. Like fucking of course. Hey, Christian, how's it fucking going? Hey, Christian, DM me so I will remember to DM you back. Because I need to tell you something.
Stop
Bit of
talking about...
transphobia is very popular among the right wing, but overall, the American people are overwhelmingly against the anti-trans laws being passed already. Even
Oops.
registered Republicans are majority against anti-trans bills being put forth by the party.
Hold on. No, go back. I want to read it.
Read it then.
3 in 10 people support state laws that prohibit gender-affirming care for minors, or that criminalize providers of that care. Among Republicans, 26% support bills that prohibit this medical care.
Yeah, but they already said in one meeting that they cannot get the public, so they just will go for their legislation directly. They have already stated that during one of their talks. Are you even in the loop, Sondsols? Are you even in the loop on those things, or do you just not, you know? We know the answer to that. It's just content to you.
70% are opposed. That's one part. I wish I could see the rest of this article.
Oh my gosh.
69.
Registered Republicans are majority against...
Ha 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 ha. 69. So funny. Oh my gosh. More humor. Oh my gosh. So funny, funny humor. But I guess, should I be even surprised that Steven Orbiter is gonna be right-leaning at the end of the day?
Anti-trans bills being put forth by the party. If a political figure like Greg Abbott or Ron DeSantis
Then
said
why
were
are they
passing
still
a law
getting
for the
elected?
express purpose of making sure more trans people died, that would go over phenomenally poorly with everyone but their most devoted base.
There are a couple of answers to this. They get elected because they have their radical base that votes for them, you know? So I'm not even sure if people get elected on trans issues alone. There are many other lies that the right wing pushes to move people away from real, actual problems.
They're passing the laws they're passing because at the moment, that's the most they can do.
Guess what you should do then? If only 26% of the population is is electing these people into office, well, then you should try and work on voter outreach and getting people to go and vote against these people, right? Is that not what you ought to do?
Voter outreach has nothing to do with whether or not this is genocide or not.
But because of reasons, if they get reelected, they're prepared to make it legally impossible for them to ever lose again, at which point they can pass whatever laws they want, no matter what their voters think. The last point I want to get into to show Lonerbox's genocidal intent is to ask him this. Do you think the law not getting passed erases the harm? Part 3.
No, he would
cruelty
never...
is the point.
Oh, fuck off.
One of the main goals of a lot of these bills is not to actually legally affect anyone's lives. Politicians will propose these laws knowing they will lose their votes, or be vetoed or overturned. It's almost immaterial to them. Sometimes it's even part of the plan, so they can bellyache to their base about the will of the people being overthrown by a tyrannical government hell-bent on grooming your children. No, the main goal of so many of these bills isn't to become laws, but to become headlines. I would argue that the majority of anti-trans legislation isn't made to be passed right now.
Right.
Is to say to trans people reading the headlines, we see you, and we're not going to make life easier for you. We're going to make it immeasurable.
The point is not to do that, because they don't see you as like the great enemy necessarily. They see you as a great like political pawn that they can use.
Are you for real? Like, do I need to go back to the... Like, do I really need to go back to the example of Germany from the 30s, to which you probably would have said the same thing? Are you for real? Are you actually following what's going on? Are you following the rhetoric of those people? I don't think so, because you don't care. Like, you have no knowledge on this subject, from what I can see. I live on the other side of the globe, and I know more about trans issues in the US than you do, which is very, very embarrassing for a Polish person from Poland to know more about trans issues in the US than a US-based commentator. It's your job to be informed on these things.
And maybe be a little bit cruel in the meantime, but they can absolutely farm you for votes. They're farming your struggle for votes. So if there's so many people
And
that disagree with
what do you think the strategy for farming votes is? It's treating them as this big enemy. You idiot. Like, this is so silly. This is so ridiculous. This is the point of treating them like the big enemy, to farm the votes. What do you mean?
your goal should be what? To make sure those bills don't get passed by electing representatives that don't believe in anti-trans legislation.
Yeah, you should
So
have
many
just
people are opposed to
voted
it. That should
Nazis
be
out of
relatively easy,
office.
as long as you go out and you like make your case instead of just saying that there's genocide like
Oh
happening
yeah.
and all conservatives are to blame.
Just debate the fasci far righters. Okay? Yeah, okay. They're just misguided.
Harder the first chance we get. The point is to make trans
You're
children
ridiculous.
so ashamed and scared of what living as trans would be like under these laws that they either get back in the closet or they commit suicide. The point is to make doctors so afraid of legal or physical backlash that they start
True.
refusing to treat kids with
Look at the bomb threats for the best children's hospital. It's already happening. Are you gonna dispute this? Are you gonna make a case against it? And like, after all the threats to the children's hospitals, is this gonna be your counter argument?
HRT before any laws even get enacted, just to be safe. The Republicans
Or just gonna be silent? You're just gonna be quiet because you know you're not correct.
For their base and to scare the shit out of LGBTQ people all over the country. They don't care about bettering Americans' lives. They care about consolidating power and using it to hurt the people they hate.
Yep.
This is clear genocidal intent, if not threats of imminent
Why?
genocidal action if that power is ever seized again. Part
What
4,
do you mean, why?
Transitioning. Lonerbox claims he understands.
Not all segregation, not all discrimination is bad, Vigilante. No one ever, like, you don't even believe that all segregation or all discrimination is bad. All right?
Ooh,
Some
not all.
discrimination is necessary. So,
Okay,
for example, we
give
discriminate
me.
against, like, young people when it comes to voting or when it comes to driving. And we also discriminate against old.
No, this is not discriminating. What do you mean? Are you stupid? This is not discriminating. I can't with this person. What do you mean we did? Oof. Wow. Discrimination definition, because like I cannot with this person. Discrimination, the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of race, age, sex, or disability. Recognition and understanding of the difference between one thing and another. So are you saying that not allowing small children to vote is unjust? Is this the argument you're making, Sondsols? Because discrimination has to be unjust. Are you for real? Did you really?
You're on a pill that says that I'm.
Do you want to measure our happiness
When we
rates?
talk about driving, right? Or
Oh my gosh, a different video. Are you really saying that some unjust treatments of people based on their age is good? Do you know what discrimination means?
Any laws even get enacted just to be safe? The Republicans
I
introduced
cannot believe you.
Don't Say Gay bill on a federal level just to tease it for their base and to scare
You're
the
being
shit out of
ridiculous.
people all over the country.
Aren't you
They
supposed to
don't
be a
care
political
about bettering
commentator,
Americans' lives. They care about
educated on
taking
these
power
things?
and using it to hurt the people they hate. This is clear genocidal intent, if not threats of imminent
Why?
genocidal action if that power is
Let's move forward a bit.
a good thing for us to be doing, right? So like one of those things that we've done for like time immemorial is against like young people, segregation or all discrimination is bad. All right.
That's not discrimination. Are you for real? That's not discrimination.
Some discrimination is necessary. So, for example, we discriminate against like young people when it comes to voting, or
No,
when
we
it comes
do
to
not.
driving. And we also discriminate against old people when
No, we
when it comes to
don't.
driving, right? Or sometimes voting, depending on like their mental state.
Are
Like
you for
we don't allow
real?
some people to do some things in society because it's not safe or it's not
Yeah.
a good thing for us to.
Yeah, so it's not unjust, you idiot. So it's not discrimination, is it? If it's not unjust. Are you being for real now? Like, are you being for real? Is this real?
Be doing, right?
This
So,
person
like,
has
one
a
of those things
following.
that we've done for like time immemorial is making
Why?
sure that there's a difference between men and women's sports, right? Because women like biologically have a different makeup than men, right? Like men, we have
No. First of all, it has not been done in times immemorial. By saying that it has been done by times immemorial, you just show that you have no clue what you're talking about. You're just appealing to your intuition right now. You just think it was like that forever. And actually, sports were not segregated because of the different makeup biologically of men and women. That's not even the case at all. Like, you should look into it. You should, like, didn't you say in this same video that you should not be talking about things that you have no clue about? And now you're doing exactly that? You're talking about things that you have exactly no clue about?
we have balls, we have testosterone, we have all that shit, all that good shit. Makes our muscles real big. It makes our bones dense, right? This shit's super based for us, but women don't have that shit.
You're
Cis women
stupid.
don't have that shit, right? Whereas like trans women, depending on how long they've been on hormones, do have those advantages, right?
You're stupid.
You're right. I do believe. Yeah, exactly. All age discrimination. Fuck them kids, right? But like seriously, when it comes to this stuff, right? I think that gendered segregation when it comes to sports is probably fine. Or sex-based discrimination in this case, right? Like it's probably fine because what we're looking at is like the ability for cis women to ever be competitive in sports ever, right? Now
You
I
have
a- I
no idea what you're
nuanced,
talking
hashtag
about.
nuanced
No.
take on this, right?
No, you
I-
don't have nuanced takes. You have ridiculous takes. Like, your takes are not nuanced at all, and I do not expect a nuanced take out of you. I expect sad and pathetic takes out of you.
I think that there should be a
You
place for
think?
trans women to be able to compete in those sports if it's like, you know, if they've been on HRT for a certain amount of time, especially in like high school sports. When we get into college sports, when we get into pro sports, it's a little bit different, and I don't care enough to look at all the data for that. But
I know you don't care enough to look at all the data when it comes to that, but you do care enough to be able to talk about it without having no clue and to monetize the content. You do care about the money from monetizing talking about it, but you do not care about looking into it. What was it that you said about not putting effort into your own videos? Didn't you say that pisses you off? Not taking the effort into making your videos good?
I'm mostly talking about old people. Okay, well, fair.
What
Okay.
happened to
Also
that?
fuck old people. I hate all people.
Well, I mean, you clearly do, but
Sports aren't fair, and they never were. Oh wow, what a brave fucking take from chat right there. Sports were never fair. We're talking about like trying to make them as fair as like we reasonably can. If it was like totally fair, right? Like, oh well, as long as you like show up, then you have a chance at winning, right? Like that's the fairest it could be. Then you're like defeating the athleticism and the, you know, the effort that they're putting in to be at the top of their game, right? But a cis woman at the top of her game will never be able to beat.
Depends on
in
the sport.
many, almost all. I don't know about every single, but many, if not most sports, they'll never be as competitive.
citation needed. And there are many citations that actually counteract your claim. You have no idea what you're talking about. What? Why are you talking about it? Yeah, you're just throwing it out there.
Competitive as a man that is at like the medium of his game in like the Olympics.
Oh, the medium. The medium of his game. Okay, citation needed.
area, right? They can't
No.
because of the biology that we have, right? Like if you look at tennis, I know a lot about tennis, okay?
Oh,
Like I don't think Serena Williams could beat like anyone in the men's
Anyone.
bracket in like the top, I'm going to say probably top 20. The top
anyone.
20 men's players.
But I don't care what you
Serena
think.
Williams, the best female athlete in the sport of all
I
time.
don't care.
Probably
I don't care what you
never get
think.
close to beating them.
How do you know?
She can't beat men in the top 500. I don't know like how
do you
good
know?
the men are like going down into like the 50s range. So I'm hedging my bets. But at least the top 20. There's no fucking way.
I don't care about your
The speed that you
speculation.
hit the ball back and forth, the serving speed, right? The ability to like sprint super fast and get to a place very fast. It's just like impossible for a
Oh.
woman to compete with a cis woman to compete with a cis man.
Oh,
But that's not to say that trans people should be
Impossible,
completely
okay.
like barred from being in sports, right? So, for example, again, like I said
It's
earlier, I think that
impossible,
trans
okay,
women who
okay.
have been on HRT for a certain amount of time, especially in like high school sports, they should probably be.
I
able to
don't care about
participate
your
with the people that
speculation.
They are like most.
Like,
closely
I
aligned
really
with their gender
don't.
With right, like that's probably what ought to happen. Because it doesn't really affect things as long as they've been on HRT for a long enough time. But if they've gone through like the full puberty, they haven't been on HRT for any appreciable amount of time, then like those like young girls are just like kind of fucked. They're never
Let me
gonna be able
guess,
to
you're
compete.
probably against
right?
puberty blockers as well, right?
Or if you have like a trans dude who's been on testosterone, the cis girls are never going to be able to compete.
Oh, never.
Understands, quote, as well as he can, how difficult it is to live as and be referred to as a gender different from the one you identify as. He cites having trans friends and a trans partner who have given him insight on this aspect of the trans experience.
What about cis women who have higher levels of testosterone? Would you ban them? Would you ban them from sports?
But, Lonerbox, understanding as well as you can obviously has not been enough. You
Cis
don't
people just can't
how it feels
understand.
to have to consider
I mean, you're
You're a troll? I'm not a
perfect.
troll. I
aspiring
know more
to
about this
murder
than you.
someone, the part of you that has
You're
any
perfect
chance.
Not
example.
only do I know more about this than you, I'm also just like overall smarter and more more well-read, more intelligent, better looking, bigger dick, all of it. Okay? You do not know more about this than me? All right. Pop in fucking VC then. More smarter? Hell yeah. Isn't Loner's partner literally trans? Well, they referenced a trans partner, but I don't know if that's their that's his current partner or not.
Have you never heard the phrase
No comment?
detransitioning is death?
No
Only about
comment.
1% of people who medically transition in any way.
No
regret the decision. Most of those who
comment.
decide to detransition, which is the right choice for them. The other 99% of people who medically transition continue because that's what
No
makes them happy,
comment.
what allows them to feel confident enough to see people and have social lives. You know, the things we need as social animals that we're just kind of wither away. I don't know how Lunarbox can say that the extent of what the GOP has done over the last...
What have I said that is incorrect?
Everything.
Name one fucking thing that I've said that's incorrect.
I've named several things.
How is anything that I've said a troll? I defy you to find one thing that I've said that's incorrect. And I'll wait for this one.
I defy you. Okay. I have named several things you have said wrong in this video. I don't like to repeat myself. It's a waste of time.
I mean, I offered for them to jump into VC if they want to.
Can you cut out all of the awkward pauses, please?
I know, John, which is why I usually don't carry on like debates over chat. I'm asking them for one example.
And yet, so much of this video has been debating your chat.
Gone? Still here? Not here?
Can you get over yourself, please? Please get over yourself.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just continue watching the video.
People don't debate you
Someone hit
because
exclamation
of
point Discord. Get
the
them the Discord
farce
link.
that happened yesterday.
I'll keep my eye on the welcome page to see if anyone joins.
Doesn't amount to
Nice.
genocidal intent at the very least. They very clearly want us dead or back in the closet, but because Lonerbox doesn't seem to realize that being forced back in the closet is violence, and because no Republican politician is saying, I'm passing this law to kill trans people, Lonerbox doesn't believe it's happening.
True.
Part
True.
5, historical precedent and
Literally.
conclusion. Lonerbox said he would define the Holocaust as a genocide only after 1941, when the final
Yep.
solution was enforced. But someone in Poly People's chat said it best. The final solution wasn't the start of the genocide. The first concentration camp in Germany was built in 1933. The Crystal
Yeah, but you can still see the genocidal intent. Intent.
Hindsight is 2020.
Trans
It's easy
people
to say
do have
now.
it the worst right now. Not gonna lie. All right? I'll bite the bullet. I'll say it. All right? Trans people do have it the worst right now.
Oh, how generous. You'll bite the bullet. Oh, wow.
Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that they're being genocided.
Cool.
They probably receive the most hate on a grand scale, right? They don't have like too terribly many people who are like positive representations of them in media. that
So is
give
it hate or is
a
it
really
just
great
people
name.
being
Like,
worried
just
and
look at the person that
misguided?
The Biden
Which is
administration
it?
decided to interview, like, and while she did a pretty good job there, like, she's still a fucking weird person that advocates for people to walk around at supermarkets with to basically rock out with their cock out.
knocked happened in 1938. This is how liberalism gives way to fascism. By
True.
ignoring clear genocidal intent
True.
through legal channels, and as long as nobody is advocating
Nobody's
directly
saying
for
this.
violence.
Nobody.
The problem is,
Apart from
when
you
parties like the Nazis
and
or the
Loner
modern-day
Box.
GOP gain enough power
But
that they
okay.
can
The
change
Nazis are the
laws
GOP.
such that they will never lose that power again.
Direct
Ha, ha,
corollaries.
ha.
Late. By excusing clear genocidal intent as misguided protectionism, the liberals hold water for the fascists until the exact moment they're no longer needed and will then be
True.
removed from the political sphere altogether. Altogether,
True.
this was a really disappointing debate to watch from Lonerbox. I truly hope he's just misinformed because he lives in the UK, is a cis guy, and just generally doesn't know what it's like to be trans in the US during and after the Trump era. I really want to
True.
give him the opportunity to listen to trans people who know what it's like, and I hope he can come away from those conversations realizing the harm the rhetoric he was using can cause, and eventually apologize, both to Poly people for his frankly horrible treatment of her in the debate, and to his wider trans audience who is hopefully having these conversations.
True.
Okay, we got the background for the
Or do I?
debate we're going to watch. We're watching
Is
it.
being a loser.
Please stop.
I really didn't want to have to make this
We just watched you. Fuck off.
Oh, you're gonna watch
We're
the
watching this
debate
from
now.
Demon Mama's perspective because
What is this weird laugh?
I can't watch Twitch VODs, and it was either watch it from Demon Mama's perspective or watch it from a Twitch VOD, and Twitch VODs crashed my stream. So this is track and field test for the most parts. Men and women are really close. I can't find any poll on who wants to desegregate it though. I'll look into it. I don't have like the
I know you have no idea
I
what
don't
you're
have the
talking
stats on it,
about.
like off the top of my head. But even like the people that are like the best defenders of trans people in sports, like
You have no clue what you're talking about. You should not be speaking on this topic at all.